I was nervous. I was anxious. I had butterflies. I come from a very athletic background, so when I get the opportunity to sort of have that feeling of preparation before having a game, I try to search for that in a lot of facets. So when he said, we're gonna beat you up, we're gonna train you, we're gonna show you how to how to learn how to use guns and fighting and specific styles for the character. I mean, I was just ready to fly to Budapest as soon as I got that information. I was like, I need to go now. It was a dream come true. I love the immersion of it. I love being able to sort of learn new skills and apply them and, train for 2, 3 months for a 30-second clip. I'd never be able to pull it off if I didn't have that, those weeks of training or those months of training. It took a great team to learn. I mean, with Jeremy and Jackson, who were sort of the fight and fight coordinators in Budapest at the action gym, it it was. I took it as a badge of honor to be able to sort of coexist with these stunt people, the stunt community, and to be able to, say, hey, I can try. I'm not sure if I can do it, but I can try. And I think there was a one moment where Jeremy Minas, who said at a certain point I had to do a role, and I was feeling sort of very down. I was doubting myself, and obviously because I was comparing myself to the stunt guys. But Jeremy was like, comes up and he's like, "You can do it. Come on." And just that little bit of a bump made me sort of be like, okay, great. I got a great team behind trying to like make this look as effortless and as real as possible. We had rehearsed all these fights, and then they keep evolving day to day, and then you get to set, and then all the dances, or at least you've learned them ahead of time, and you show up, and then they throw the smoke at you, and you can't see nothing. You can't see. You're talking about like having to disarm a man and having another guy coming at you with an axe, and when you're dancing on the stage without the smoke, it's easy. And then you put the smoke in, and you're really in that space now. You're in that space of trying to survive. Um, and so yeah, that was it. I think the most exciting thing was just being a part of something that I've seen for like the last 10 years that made me excited about action films again. It was something that I think for a while they sort of died down. I mean, growing up, I was a massive fan of like Van Damme and Bruce Willis and even the earlier films of Seagal. That that just to have like a little like a stripe in that sort of linear stories of great action films. I was like that's good. My dad gets to see it, my uncles get to see it, my cousins get to see it, and they are massive action buffs. One big thing was that he was a protector, so he doesn't kill, So that influenced a lot of the fighting, which was nothing was a kill shot. Everything was to disarm, disable, and move forward. And so that was so helpful to understand. He very much is living in an island. I mean, figuratively and metaphorically, with him and his daughter. And the I think the fear of trying to maintain um, young Eve's world as safe and as protective as possible, while knowing that eventually the truth is going to come out about who she is and what world she lives in. And so that, I think, that mask that he carries with him, about everything is good, and then immediately gets turned upside down when they come after her or come after both of them. It's a fight or flight moment, and obviously he goes into somewhat of an autopilot to protect his daughter. Um, but it is, yeah, I think as a parent, it's just a lot more pressure to make sure that your child is safe from a world that eventually is going to come and get them. Well, I feel like Javier's, in terms of the chancellor and the sort of the community that chancellor sort of runs, I think he feels duped. I think for so long he was brainwashed into believing something. As man was sort of an imposter in a way that um, would use other people as resources for his own benefit. And only until he decided to break away from sort of that community was sort of, I think, the stamp between this person that he looked up to, and now it becomes a false prophet. The action. I mean, the action, I think, but also you know, what made, I think, John Wick so special was that it was based on a very simple premise, which is the longing of a spouse through a dog that ends up getting sort of killed in a very shameless crime, and that sort of sparked this entire thing. And so I kind of hope that when people see this film, that obviously they go to enjoy the action, but at the end maybe they do remember a little bit about someone they love, and the dreams or the nightmares of what they're capable of doing if something happened to any of them, you know, and sort of living vicariously through Eve's character of what they would do, you know, because when I've seen great films, if something happens to a loved one, I come out like wanting to like see how they're doing, you know. I want to check on my sister, see how she's doing, you know. So that's what I hope for.